All right, let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We are unpacking a truly fascinating and honestly, a pretty powerful breakdown of courtship red flags today. We're drawing this directly from some incredibly thought-provoking source material on relationship dynamics. And we aren't just going to sit here and list off the warning signs of the bad match. We're going much deeper. We are going to explore the compelling, sometimes messy human psychology that causes us to just completely ignore those red flags. It's a really eye-opening look at how human behavior, societal pressure, and courtship all collide. To really set the stage here, I want you to listen to this incredibly stark quote right from the source material. There are many ways to die in marriage. Wow, that intense imagery right there, it completely establishes the sky-high stakes of choosing the wrong partner. Tying yourself to the wrong person, it doesn't just mean you'll be a bit unhappy, it can literally mean the death of your vision, your peace of mind, your life's purpose, and yeah, in the most extreme cases, even your physical safety. The stakes absolutely could not be higher. So, here is our game plan for today. Number 1, the high stakes. 2, character warnings. 3, lifestyle and past. 4, why we ignore signs. 5, societal traps. And finally, number 6, purpose over pressure. Let's get into it. Starting with section 1, the high stakes. Because before we can even look at the red flags themselves, we kind of have to understand the reality of the modern marital landscape. And what's really staggering here, guys, is the sheer scale of the problem. According to the source, over 60% of marriages today are either failing outright, heading straight to divorce court, or, and this is almost sadder, they are merely being endured in silence because of societal or religious pressure. That is a massive statistic. To put that into perspective, it means a successful, thriving union is actually the exception right now, not the rule. This is exactly why evaluating these warning signals before you say I do is absolutely crucial. Moving to section 2, character warnings. So what exactly are these warning signals we need to be looking for? Well, the very first immediate red flag is habitual lying. But the source makes a brilliant point here. Lying isn't just telling a falsehood. It's actually building what they call a false insurance system to totally escape accountability. Think about it. The crucial takeaway is this. If you marry someone whose everyday words mean nothing to them, their wedding vows, yeah, they're going to mean nothing either. They've literally already built the psychological tools to escape the consequences of their actions. Next up is what's called the inconsistent lifestyle. Talk about behavioral whiplash. One day, your partner is exhibiting this heavily secular persona, out partying, drinking, totally checked out. Then, out of nowhere, the very next day, they swing to this intense spiritual persona, going on 7-day fasts and speaking in tongues. You see the problem here? You aren't marrying one person. You're marrying 2 drastically different personas. And this kind of extreme inconsistency is a massive red flag because it pretty much guarantees sudden, unpredictable chaos in your future home. And then we have the absolute deal breakers, violent tendencies, and a total disregard for authority. If a partner shows a violent temperament, and hey, even if they give you profuse apologies later, or if they use extreme manipulation to always play the victim, you are in real danger. Plus, if they have a complete disregard for spiritual matters or absolutely no respect for any physical authority, well, that means they answer to no one. If things go wrong, there is literally nobody on earth who can call them to order. All right, section 3, lifestyle and past. Let's shift our focus a bit to daily choices and financial red flags. There is a very grim reality when it comes to reckless addictions, whether we're talking about severe alcoholism, chain smoking, you name it. Marrying someone with a highly reckless lifestyle drastically lowers their life expectancy, period. If you're dreaming of growing old together on a porch somewhere, but your partner is actively destroying their health right now, you are essentially setting yourself up to be widowed at an early age. It's a really harsh truth, but it's a vital red flag you can't ignore. But you might be wondering, what if your partner has a dark past that they claim they've changed? Look, it's not that people can't change. They absolutely can. But the source provides this precise 3-step procedure for vetting an uncomfortable past. First, check the time elapsed. Has it been years of good behavior or just a few weeks? Second, verify the quality of their change. Actually, scratch that. It's more like, was there verifiable rehabilitation and counseling, or just a quick "I'm sorry"? And third, ensure any necessary restitution has been made to the people they've hurt. You just can't take their word for it. You really have to look for that hard proof of change. Another major red flag in this category is undefined income. I get it. It is incredibly easy to be blinded by a partner who suddenly showers you with expensive gifts, luxury cars, all that stuff. But there is a very real danger in the greed of ignoring sketchy or undefined sources of income. If you partake in resources without knowing their root, especially nowadays with online scams or illicit funds, you're putting your own life, your authority, and your moral standing at risk. You basically become a victim to whatever dark powers are funding that lifestyle. Moving into section 4, why we ignore signs. This brings us to honestly the most fascinating part of this whole explainer, the psychology behind why we actually miss these glaring flags. It's a great question, isn't it? If someone is violent, if they're a chronic liar, or if they have sketchy finances, why in the world do people still stand at an altar and say, I do? Well, it's rarely because people are stupid. It's because their judgment gets completely clouded by some very specific internal and external traps. Let's look at those. Here are the core psychological blind spots the text identifies. First, unreasonable physical affection, basically focusing entirely on someone's body type and completely ignoring their character. Second, the overwhelming pressure of sexual intimacy and lust, which, let's be honest, can severely cloud rational thought. Third, and this is a big one, is ego, wanting to prove a point to an ex-partner or showing off to your colleagues that, hey, look, I can get married too. And finally, leeching, marrying someone purely for their prospects or their wealth just to elevate your own status. Listen, marrying for these selfish, superficial motives, it turns a home into a living hell the second reality finally sets in. Which brings us to section 5, societal traps. Because society itself actively pushes people into making these terrible decisions. Check out this powerful piece of advice from the source. The pressure of bachelorhood and spinsterhood is internal. Don't pressure yourself into marriage. While society, your friends, and your family might constantly badger you about when you're getting married, allowing that outside noise to become internal panic is so dangerous. If you lower your standards just to escape the pressure of being single, you fundamentally devalue yourself. And the worst part? Your future spouse is going to sense that desperation, which almost always leads to a profound lack of respect in the marriage right from day one. Another massive societal trap involves toxic cultural expectations, specifically around having children. The source aggressively debunks the cultural myth of marrying specifically to get male children, and then subsequently blaming the woman when it doesn't happen. By simply pointing out the objective, basic biology that the male provides the Y chromosome, which actually determines a male child, while the female only provides an X chromosome, we can completely shatter this toxic myth that women are to blame for the gender of a child. It's a prime example of how warped societal expectations can poison a relationship before it even really begins. Finally, section 6, purpose over pressure. So, what's the ultimate solution to all of this madness? The crucial point is this: stop panicking about your timeline. People who are looking for a genuinely successful, lasting union, they are not checking your age. They are checking your value. They are looking for character, they're looking for vision, and they're looking for capacity. Instead of projecting your age and acting out of this frantic desperation, your focus should be entirely on building your own internal value and ensuring you align with someone who actually shares your life's purpose. To wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this deeply provocative question derived straight from our source material. Are you seeking a relationship for a shared, meaningful purpose, or are you just trying to escape internal and societal pressure? Truly understanding your own underlying motivations is the ultimate defense against ignoring all those red flags we've explored today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer exploring the psychology of courtship and warning signs. Keep learning, keep analyzing those motives, and I'll catch you in the next session.